All right, y'all. So a little bit of an unconventional message, but I did want to get on because it was kind of pulling at my spirit. So a lot of you guys know that everything's changing in the world. You guys know there's a whole new turnover of a system, and we did expect that. And I feel like the best way that many people can buffer the pressure that's being put on society is with preparedness. So I wanted to really get on and talk to you guys, particularly if you are a senior or if you know someone who is a senior, you're a caregiver, you have an aunt, uncle, mom, dad, someone who is on Medicare, because they are about to be affected in so many ways, and they're not really being truthful and honest as to how these effects are going to take place. So for 2026, Medicare Part B is going up by $21.50, I believe it is. So for the average person, that's not a whole lot per month, but these people who are receiving Social Security are not getting increases to that capacity. And on top of that, whenever they go to, the doctor's office, they're paying co-pays. Whenever they have to do anything, they're staying in apartments, and they also are going up on rent. So everything's going up for these people, but they are not being able to have anything coming back to them. So if you are affiliated with someone who is a senior, these are some of the things that you need to know. Now, first things first, okay? We have seen the specialist visits for 2026 is going up out the wazoo. The traditional price was like $25 to $45. These specialist visits, if your people are, going to specialists, some plans are going up to like $70, $75 just when they are in network. So you can imagine if folks are out of network. Now, this is just giving you this kind of preview because I'm just going off of the fact that I believe most of you know what a copay, a deductible, and all those other things are. But if you don't, it's okay to ask questions and to find out. Right now, people who are going to be affected a lot, okay, are especially those who have Medicare and both Medicaid. They're scheduled for about 245,000 to 250,000 people, even plus, that will be affected. And the reason being is that there's something called DSNP plans, okay? These are dual special needs plans. This is when you have both Medicare and Medicaid. Now, with that being said, they are going to become obsolete after a while. There are so many of the people who have Medicare, the Medicare beneficiaries, where they're being crosswalked. Their plan is no longer going to be the plan in action. So they're going to bring them over to a new plan. A new plan means there are going to be some new stipulations for that. So October 15th through December 7th, and why I bring this message is because we are right at, the cuff and everything of happening with Medicare annual enrollment period. You guys, if you have a plan, if you are the power of attorney and you make medical decisions for the people that's in your life, this is the time frame where you need to be going to Medicare.gov, putting in that person's zip code and seeing all the plans that's available. Now, some people are getting like $100, $200, $300, even when it comes to certain things such as their, affordable allowances each and every month, whether they can buy food, whether they can get things from CVS or, it could be first aid kits, whatever the case may be. These people are getting an allowance. Many of those things are going to be cut. Now, after folks get their Social Security check each month, after they pay rent, after they pay their utilities, once they try to get food, it's barely any money. Most of the people that are around cannot buy food, and they're relying on things as such to get them that. Now, if you are a senior, this time frame you're going to get bombarded with calls. This is something that I want to caution you against. Why? Because there are many Medicare agents that are out there, and they are going to tell you, yeah, I can get you into this plan, and you're not realizing you were better off in the plan maybe that you were already in, right? Yeah, because you're not going to be maybe getting a new benefit or a stipend with that other plan. So this is the reason why we need to help our seniors to be able to see what's going on with their current plan. What could they be losing? What could they be gaining by switching? Now, with that being said, it will behoove some of you all, especially when you don't have extra help from the Social Security office or Medicaid. Why? Many of the plans that you are in across the United States, okay, all 50 states, some of your plans right now, the cost of your medication is going to go up significantly. Now, a way to buffer that is to choose a new plan. All right. Try to choose yourself a new plan that can reduce the cost of those medications, specifically if you're on things like Jardiance, Eliquis, those high priced medications that you know if you needed to pay for that by yourself with no support of Medicare, then it will be out the wazoo. Now, another thing to that is that many of you with prescription drug plans, even if they're just standalone and you do have a Medicare supplement plan, you're not on the side of an Advantage plan. Those prescription drug plans are going up. And another thing that's going up is the deductible that you have to pay before the actual plan starts paying, So let's just say that you're on one of those high priced medications. Now, typically you will phase out of your deductible phase very early on. But remember, if your deductible was $398 for 2025, for 2026, you could be facing $500 or even more. This is why it's so important for you to be able to look and review your plan, not just rely on these agents, because I got to let you know, after having been in the industry well over a decade plus, you got some people out here who will scam you for a little bit of a commission. So you need to take your health care into your own hand right now and figure out what's going to be the best move for you. Now, again, this is all to buffer everything. I'm very much so on a holistic level. I don't take stuff unless it's absolutely that I need to. Okay, I'm about, if you are diabetic out there, get you some okra water. If you got inflammation in your body, drink you some clove water or chew you some cloves. I'm about that life. But if you are on any of these things, this is something that you need to know. Another thing that I want to tell you guys right now in 2025, while you are still on the particular plan that you are on, if you have a pending surgery, if you need dentures, if you have work done that needs to be done with your dental work, you need to move now. You need not to procrastinate, okay? While the provision is there, you need to move this year, right now, because 2026, I can guarantee you by the time February to March hits, this is going to go berserk. This is going to go bizarre. So I'm just letting you know, somebody to keep it real with you right now. Y'all need to be figuring this out. If you got parents who are on the cuff of actually aging into Medicare, right now is the time to learn. I got a video, okay? I'll probably post that within the comments section that I made before so you can really understand certain things about that. Some of you guys will benefit from things that they are called give back plans. They may be within your zip code. These give back plans are typically designed for people who are in good health, don't really need to go to the hospital. Why? They'll usually give you money back per month into your Social Security check to help you pay for your Part B. Now, with that being said, typically the cost of everything else is much higher under those plans, such as your specialist visits, or let's just say your deductibles, or even costs for certain medications. Those can be higher on give back plans. But if you are in good health, leverage that. See if there are give backs in your area. Don't trust just any agent that comes to you. If you have the ability to use the internet, and most of you guys do, go to Medicare.gov, put in your zip code, and actually go and figure out the plans, that may be most suitable for you. If you're currently with certain carriers, call them particularly. Certain things like in Georgia, you guys have a carrier that have totally went bankrupt, okay? And you know that you've had to switch your plan. So if you're in one of those situations, you need to very much so beware. There are certain states that are going to be affected more than others. And I did go ahead and get down a really quick list. I'm going to go through that with you. So New York, South Carolina, Rhode Island, Texas, Michigan, Massachusetts, Ohio, and Illinois. If you are in that state and you got some stuff right now with Medicare particularly, all right, you need to be double checking, triple checking your plans. If you're in Florida, typically Florida, we got some good plans, especially depending on the areas that you're in. Now, when it comes to certain more rural areas, you don't really see a lot of the benefits as, great in those areas. Nonetheless, I want you guys double checking on everything. Another thing that's changed this year, if you guys got United Healthcare, which typically is a really big network for a lot of you guys with Medicare, every single HMO plan, even if you're on an HMO POS, you will need a referral without a doubt. A lot of different doctors that you had in 2025 that were opted into the network will not be in the network for 2026. So these are just some of the things that I'm putting out there for you. Again, I want you to be able to take control over some things, and knowing is half the battle. So now that you know, continue to do your research. If you do have, different Medicare agents that you've worked with throughout the years. Keep in mind, just because you've worked with them over the last several years, it doesn't mean that they can offer you the thing that's most suitable for you. Sometimes you particularly need to contact the different carriers, okay? Sometimes you got to get on the phone, look up the phone number to United Healthcare, Devoted, Kaiser, depending on where you're at within these different states. If you're in California, you're with Kaiser. If you're in certain different areas, all I'm saying right now is this is the time, okay, to do the framework. Don't procrastinate. You got some medical work that you need to do it right now, because the way that things are flipping, and it's for people who are not even on Medicare. If you got something and you can afford it and the provision is set, use it this year. Do it this year. Get your glasses, get everything that you need to get right now. If you can get a 3-month supply of your medication, get it right now, because things are changing. And I need you guys to be aware, and I also need you to be taking action. All right. So as we already know, a lot of people are getting ready to be affected by everything that has happened. And healthcare is one of the things that are taking people out quickly and quickly. All right. Don't be afraid to make a change, but proceed with caution. Love you guys so much. Have a good one.